Surveillance cameras across Southeast Asia have caught eerie silhouettes of creatures that match no known species. High in the mountains, explorers discovered tadpole shrimp, tiny prehistoric creatures that have existed for over 300 million years, long before humans and even before dinosaurs. Virtually unchanged, they have survived multiple mass extinctions through a remarkable adaptation, armored bodies, and eggs that can remain dry and dormant for decades. When rain returns, the eggs hatch within hours, reviving the species as if time had paused. Finding these living fossils today is a rare reminder of life's resilience and a source of hope in an era of rapid extinction. In Thailand, a fisherman caught a pale fish with large lips and bulging blue eyes that appeared disturbingly human. The strange-looking catch, shorter bodied than expected and weighing 6 pounds at 17 inches long, shocked everyone who saw it. No one in the village could identify the creature, even the elders who recalled similar stories once dismissed as folklore. The fish was later given to a local wildlife center, where scientists believe it may be a triggerfish or pufferfish with severe developmental abnormalities, though its human-like features continue to puzzle experts. Elsewhere, a filmed reptile puzzled viewers with a lizard's body and an unusually long snake-like tail that helped it blend into dry leaves. The creature was identified as a snake lizard, a harmless species whose elongated tail aids balance, distracts predators by detaching when attacked, and supports its serpentine movement through tight spaces. Shaped by evolution to fill a unique ecological niche, it hunts insects in areas that other animals cannot reach. Although long misunderstood and feared by local villagers, scientific study and education are now revealing this strange-looking reptile to be both harmless and beneficial. Have you ever encountered an animal that looked frightening but turned out to be completely harmless? Comment and chat with me. But not all ancient forms are harmless. Some ruled this land with unimaginable power. In December 2019, near Ban Phai in central Thailand, researchers uncovered fossils of Carcharodontosaurus, a massive predator with shark-like serrated teeth. More than 113 million years ago, this region was a floodplain where creatures up to 25 meters long hunted long before Tyrannosaurus rex existed. The find reveals that these apex predators ranged far beyond a single continent, spreading across parts of North America, Europe and Asia during the early Cretaceous period. Fossil evidence, including healed injuries, suggests they fiercely competed for territory, offering new insight into the behavior and global reach of some of the most formidable dinosaurs ever to live. After reaching a critical low in 2010, Indochinese tigers began reappearing in western Thailand, captured on camera traps for the first time in 4 years. Once numbering in the thousands, this endangered subspecies declined to an estimated 342 individuals by 2011 due to habitat loss, poaching, and prey depletion. Recent footage of healthy adult males suggests conservation efforts, including protected wildlife corridors, anti-poaching patrols, and community education, are working. The tiger's return offers renewed hope, as their presence signals a recovering ecosystem and restored balance within the forest. In a remote mountain region of Indonesia, researchers discovered a previously unknown rodent, known as the pig-nosed rat, distinguished by its elongated snout, floppy ears, shrew-like teeth, and long sensory hair tufts. Found during a biodiversity survey in an area never before studied, the species uses its sensitive snout to search for insects and relies on its unique features to navigate dense undergrowth. Genetic analysis shows it diverged from other rats millions of years ago and evolved in isolation, with only a few thousand individuals believed to remain in a limited habitat. Conservation efforts are now focused on protecting this rare species. After a 9-year search, researchers rediscovered the giant Wallace bee in the North Moluccas, finding a female hidden in a termite mound and confirming the species still survives. First identified in 1858 by Alfred Russel Wallace, the thumb-sized bee vanished from records for more than a century amid widespread deforestation, with only a brief reappearance in 1981. Its rediscovery in 2019 came from closely following Wallace's notes about the bee's resin-lined nests inside termite mounds. The find highlights both the bee's extraordinary size and resilience, and underscores the importance of protecting remaining old-growth forests that may still shelter species long thought extinct. Thai archaeologists uncovered a remarkably preserved Bride's whale skeleton in western Bangkok, dating back more than 5,000 years. The 12.5-meter-long remains were found about 12 kilometers inland after a cyclist noticed large bones protruding from the ground. Excavated over nearly a month, dozens of skeletal fragments were carefully recovered, making it one of the most significant whale finds in Asia. The discovery shows how dramatically the coastline has shifted over millennia and offers valuable insight into ancient marine ecosystems, whale evolution, and information that may help protect modern populations. If this content is making an impact, give it a like. And for those watching on your phone, the hype button is waiting just below. In Indonesia, a beachgoer filmed a massive dark shape moving just beneath the ocean's surface, briefly resembling a sea monster. The unclear footage, distorted by murky water and low light, sparked widespread debate as it went viral, with explanations ranging from drifting debris to whale sharks, while others suggested unknown creatures. The sighting drew attention because it occurred in Indonesia's highly biodiverse waters, part of the Coral Triangle, where deep, unexplored seas continue to reveal unusual life and leave room for mystery. In the Sea of Cortez, a fisherman discovered a rare Cyclops shark fetus inside a female shark, a finding later confirmed by scientists. The albino fetus had a single centrally placed eye caused by cyclopia, an extremely rare developmental mutation in which the brain fails to divide properly. Although otherwise normally formed, the condition would have made survival impossible in the wild. Preserved for study, the specimen offers valuable insight into how rare genetic mutations occur in marine life and why they are seldom observed. Divers along the Indonesian coast discovered walking sharks, known as epaulet sharks, that use their fins like limbs to move across the seabed in shallow waters. This recent evolutionary adaptation, developed within the last 9 million years, allows them to access areas and prey unavailable to other sharks. Their ability to tolerate low oxygen by slowing their metabolism lets them survive in tide pools and hunt small reef animals. The presence of multiple walking shark species in the region suggests this strategy is highly successful and that more species may still await discovery. In Cambodia, a massive marine carcass washed ashore, sparking speculation that it was a sea monster due to its swollen, distorted appearance. Experts later explained it was most likely a decomposing whale or large fish, altered by gases, saltwater, and wave action. Measuring about 8 meters long and grayish-white in color, the remains were so degraded that identifying features was difficult to recognize. Marine biologists reviewing images suggested it was probably a baleen whale, such as a Bride's whale or a young blue whale, based on signs of filter-feeding structures. Before scientists could examine it directly, the carcass was removed and buried for public health reasons, leaving the incident as a striking example of how natural decomposition can transform familiar animals into something unrecognizable. A massive marine creature washing ashore on an Indonesian beach put the community on alert when a whale about 15 meters long appeared on the sand, initially mistaken by locals for a sea monster. Experts later identified it as a baleen whale in an advanced state of decay, swollen by trapped gases and producing a strong odor that kept people more than 50 meters away. Scientists found no clear evidence of ship strikes or fishing gear entanglement and collected tissue samples to investigate possible causes of death, including disease, malnutrition, or pollution. Because a whale of this size poses serious health and tourism risks, local authorities ultimately buried the remains inland, allowing natural breakdown to occur away from the community. On the island of Sumatra, residents were stunned by the discovery of a colossal reticulated python said to be about 15 meters long and weighing roughly 450 kilograms. Revered by locals and displayed in a park, it drew attention for its immense size and reported consumption of local animals, leading scientists to debate whether it was among the largest snakes ever recorded. While some experts question the measurements, Witness accounts and video supported its extraordinary scale. Such growth would require extreme age, steady access to food, and survival against human and environmental threats. Although conservationists disagreed, authorities kept the snake in captivity, arguing that an animal of this size posed real risks and was safer to manage in a controlled setting. Reports of a giant skeleton found in a cave near Krabi, Thailand, sparked claims that giants once existed and were defeated by a horned snake, seemingly confirming ancient Naga myths. The discovery was later identified as an elaborate installation by local artist Tu Chang, known for creating realistic staged archaeological scenes inspired by Asian mythology. His work depicted a giant and a serpent posed as if locked in an ancient struggle, carefully arranged to appear old and convincing within the cave setting. The installation blurred the line between art and science, showing how easily myths can feel real when supported by physical displays and drawing on widespread legends of giants and serpents found across many cultures. Tourists on a Thai island were startled by what looked like Ewok-like creatures playing music along the coast, prompting confusion and disbelief. The scene was later revealed to be a staged performance by costumed actors led by traveling artist Tory Rains, who created the 30-minute show in a cave near Railay Bay. Designed as an experimental art project, the performance used the dramatic natural setting to blur the line between reality and imagination. Reactions ranged from delight to discomfort, reflecting the artist's intent to challenge perception and show how easily people can be misled by unexpected sights. A child walking near a quiet lake discovered a large pike washed ashore, its broad head and sharp teeth creating a startling sight that later went viral. Pike are ambush predators known for their speed and powerful jaws, which give them an especially intimidating appearance. The specimen likely died from age or disease, as pike can live for decades and grow over 1.5 meters long, with features that become increasingly prehistoric over time. While stories of pike harming people are often exaggerated, these fish can defend themselves and have been known to target small animals, making such an unexpected encounter especially alarming. A child walking along muddy paths mistook a strange, clumsy animal for a giant toad, until it climbed a bush and revealed itself as a Sunda Colugo. The frightened gliding mammal clung to a branch, its wide eyes and folded membrane making it appear unusually bulky. Colugos do not fly but glide using a large membrane that allows them to travel over 100 meters between trees with little loss of height. Although highly skilled in the air, they are awkward and vulnerable on the ground, which likely explains how this individual ended up there. The encounter highlighted the Colugo's unique adaptations and the rarely seen moments when these canopy-dwelling animals are forced out of their natural habitat. A pineapple sea cucumber drew attention when a woman encountered the thick, spiny animal underwater, its fruit-like appearance belying its ecological importance. Sea cucumbers play a vital role in ocean health by consuming decaying matter and recycling nutrients, effectively cleaning the seabed and supporting coral reefs. Their raised bumps help deter predators, and some species can eject internal organs to escape danger and later regenerate them. Moving slowly on tiny tube feet, this unassuming creature highlights how even the most overlooked animals are essential to maintaining balance in marine ecosystems. In Indonesia, saltwater crocodiles have been observed using deceptive behavior by appearing exhausted or motionless in shallow water before making sudden strikes when people approach. This tactic suggests a deliberate hunting strategy that exploits human curiosity and makes these predators, which can exceed 6 meters in length, especially dangerous. Capable of explosive speed and immense bite force, crocodiles can react in an instant once someone is within range. While local communities understand the risk, visitors often underestimate it, prompting conservation officials to warn that any crocodile, regardless of how harmless it appears, should always be treated as a serious threat. In the depths of a quiet lake, a dark serpentine shape revealed itself to be an Anhinga, a bird adapted for hunting underwater. Often called snakebirds for their long necks, Anhingas swim with only their heads visible and dive easily because their feathers are not waterproof. They hunt by slowly stalking fish and striking with a rapid thrust of their sharp beak before surfacing to swallow the catch. Afterward, they perch with wings spread to dry, a necessary ritual that gives these skilled divers their distinctive and striking appearance. An armored catfish with a line of spines along its body drew attention for its prehistoric appearance and formidable defenses. Known as loricariids, these fish are protected by bony plates and locking fin spines that deter predators while allowing movement. They can also breathe air, enabling them to survive in low oxygen or polluted waters and spread beyond their native South American range. Using a sucker mouth to cling to surfaces and scrape algae, they help clean waterways, though in some regions they have become invasive. Their survival and size reflect how ancient adaptations continue to thrive in modern ecosystems. A silvery arowana drew widespread attention after being observed with an exceptionally rare developmental variation that resulted in two distinct, independently moving heads. Arowanas are highly valued in many Asian cultures as symbols of prosperity and good fortune, which made this unusual specimen especially fascinating and meaningful. Such developmental variations occur when early growth does not follow the typical pattern, often making long-term survival more challenging, particularly for fish. The fact that this arowana was able to grow large enough to be studied suggests it received attentive care in a controlled setting. Its uniqueness and cultural symbolism prompted discussion over whether it should be shared publicly, transferred to a collector, or kept private, reflecting the balance between tradition, curiosity, and respect for the natural world. Friends walking through the woods discovered what appeared to be a tall, gray, alien-like figure with an unusual appearance, prompting fear, curiosity, and intense speculation. Closer inspection suggested it may have been a heavily deteriorated primate or another animal, its features altered by natural processes, though some details fueled disagreement. The group documented the find and alerted authorities, but it disappeared before it could be examined. The incident sparked online debate between skeptics and believers, leaving the true identity of the creature unresolved. In 2022, a tourist filmed a thin, pale figure moving through the jungle with elongated limbs and an unsettling, almost human gait. The figure appeared aware of the camera, briefly pausing before disappearing into dense vegetation, all within about 30 seconds. Explanations range from a hiker, a hoax, or unusual lighting, to isolated human communities living deep in the forest. Others speculate about an unknown primate, noting that Southeast Asian jungles remain vast and only partially explored, leaving the true identity of the figure uncertain. A small town was startled when a deep crash echoed overhead, and a large silent object was seen gliding through the clouds. Witnesses described an indistinct shape that did not resemble a typical aircraft or bird, and seemed to blend into the sky. Blurry phone videos captured only a dark form, making its size difficult to assess. Official explanations suggested possible atmospheric effects, though some observers remained unconvinced, placing the event among the region's reports of unexplained aerial sightings. One morning, a pale, human-like figure with a long tail washed ashore, drawing a crowd unsure whether they were seeing a mermaid, a costume, or something else entirely. The unmoving form had arm-like features and a tapered lower half, fueling speculation that ranged from folklore to prank to an unknown animal. Authorities later removed it without a clear explanation, offering conflicting accounts that included a deformed marine mammal, an art installation, or severely altered biological remains. The lack of clarity only deepened public curiosity, leaving the incident remembered as an unresolved coastal mystery. A massive giant tortoise, likely an Aldabra or Galapagos species, drew attention as a woman calmly fed it while the animal stretched its long neck in trust. With a shell over a meter long and a weight exceeding 200 kilograms, the tortoise appeared well over a century old, bearing the marks of an exceptionally long life. Known for their slow movements and metabolism, giant tortoises conserve energy to survive for decades on limited resources. The gentle interaction revealed a deep bond between caretaker and animal, highlighting the rare responsibility of caring for a creature that may outlive many human generations. A rare turtle with an unusual developmental variation was discovered, resulting in two distinct heads on a single body. Each head displayed its own behavior, occasionally showing differing responses during movement and feeding, which can make life in natural settings more difficult. Found at a very young age, the turtle was brought to a wildlife rehabilitation center where it received attentive, specialized care. With this support, animals like this can live for many years, making the turtle both a fascinating case and a valuable example for learning about early biological development. Nature continues to surprise us with discoveries that challenge our understanding of what we think we know. If any of these creatures stood out to you, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments, and consider subscribing for more explorations of the strange and unexplained. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and continue to question the world around you.